The final for Britain's Got Talent Series 18 is just on the horizon, and with technically four more spots up for grabs for the final. We had our next semi-final for semi-final number 4, week 4 to be exact, with 8 more acts competing for the spot in the final, 1 from the Golden Buzzer and 1 from the public vote. And for the first time this series, I got my predictions 100% correct. In terms of who I wanted to make it through to the final, I got both my predictions correct, which we'll talk about later on in the video. But anyways, without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. So, folks, as you know, Saturday night was the 4th week of the semi-finals for BGT Series 18. I can't believe that the final is so close. We've only got a few more spots left. Of course, the wild card to be chosen. Don't know who for yet. But honestly, this was another great episode for talent. We had honestly quite a few acts really impressed me, and of course we had the one foolish act, that filler act, I guess you could say, make it through, which honestly is just, typical BGT auditions these days for putting random acts in the semi-finals just for the sake of it. But anyways, as I mentioned, Saturday night was the 4th live semi-final. It was a great episode, and I really enjoyed the acts we got, and ironically, I actually got the top 3 as well correct as well. Because I normally do my very early predictions before the show each Saturday, and so which I'll basically talk about a little bit later on in the video. But it was a great episode, and we had quite a few shock eliminations. And one of them I was pretty shocked about when this person was eliminated, which again I'll talk to you about it in later on in the video. And also, America's Got Talent is indeed coming back in a few days' time, so I cannot wait for that. Be on the lookout for content. I'll be doing my ranking and my recap, so I'll probably do my ranking first, and then I'll make the presentation for the AGT recap and do that and get it out as soon as possible, basically. So I'm going to be quite busy on the Wednesday because I'm also on social media. I'm on the Reddit, of course, do more content. So yeah, just be on the lookout for all the AGT content. Hopefully there's no kerfuffles. I doubt there will be any kerfuffles because I know with BGT, some of them, my videos, if I didn't do the episode, they were at the start they were partially hidden. But put the photos around it and it was fine. Hopefully that's not the same case for AGT. I doubt it will be. Because I know I've seen a few American content out there, so fingers crossed it's okay. But anyways, without any further ado, let's just get straight into the video. Talking about the 4th live semi-final, and kicking off the night, we had the Idols, who are the Japanese dance group. I need to get them up quickly. I'm literally slacking so behind. So my apologies indeed. So like always, we'll do a brief recap. So in the audition, they did their dance routine to the Plum Fairy, which is that kind of Christmas. Is it Christmas or something? Some sort of Christmas music or something. But they're basically the girls in like the red dresses doing the dancing. And this time around, they did a routine to another dance routine. I wasn't too sure on the music, but the atmosphere was really creepy as well. Especially there was also in the beginning was some person there kind of like controlling like everything, like which I thought was pretty cool as well. And this was a really fantastic start to the show. From honest with you, it was really good. Also, they did a dance routine, and then one member was basically controlling by a puppet. Basically, one member was initially controlled by a puppet before the 2 other members of the group emerged from the box nearby, which was basically near the judges when they popped out and they kind of scared the judges a little bit. And then the performance basically kind of did it as one of the dolls swapped places with the puppet, which was at the top there. So Alicia mentioned that she was looking forward to seeing them, and they delivered, with Amanda saying it was the sort of murderous and chaotic and evil and eerie. Basically, of course, she liked it, of course. And I agree with what the judges said. This was a very strong start to the show. I love seeing these type of dance groups, especially with the way their characters is really cool as well. The way they kind of stay in the character even after they perform, and it's creepy as well, but it's creepy in the best way possible. So I absolutely loved this this performance. I thought they really stepped up from the audition, especially the production value for this was amazing. I really, really enjoyed that. So yeah, again, this was a great start to the show, and that's all I can say because I mean the characters they portrayed were amazing. I thought the choreography was amazing, the synchronicity was amazing, just all around a fantastic start to the show, and it was a very great start to the show to kick off the night. Then we had the act who I was dreading to see in the semi-finals, which was Pappy Bucket, the guy from Taiwan who played the Rubber Chickens to Bohemian Rhapsody. And honestly, can I just say this now? The fact how on earth did he make it through to the semi-finals? I will never know. I'll never know because it was just oh my god, this was just utter torturous, if that's the right word to say. So anyway, let's just talk about. So he did. Excuse me. He did "Let Me Entertain You" by Robbie Williams. I mean, I love that song. So, but he did it on the Rubber Chickens, and it was like there was other animals and like there was like birds there. There was rubber cows. There was pigs as well. They did party poppers, and then another rubber chicken with a recorder in its mouth, and one of them was used as a guitar. It was just an utter mess as well. You know, Alicia, Simon, and Bruno buzzed, but Amanda absolutely loved it because that's Amanda for you folks. She mentioned dogs all across the country would love the act which is quite fun because I'm pretty sure it's one of those like squeaky toys you get your pet at the pet store, like those squeaky toys that you throw them and they run and they have that squeaky. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then Bruno basically mentioned that it was very, very silly and very, very painful to the ears. And I mean, that's what I can say as well because it was painful to listen to. And I literally just sat there thinking to myself, is how on earth will the audience enjoy this? Like, what's the benefits of enjoying this performance? I know it's subjective, but still, like, how can you like this act? Because I think it's just atrocious. It's just so annoying. It was so painful to listen to. I was like, and the fact he made the semi-finals is bonkers beyond belief. So, yeah, I'm shocked he made it through to the semi-finals. I'm glad he didn't make it through to the final because there was no chance he was going through, especially with the red buzzers. But the fact the audience actually liked it is just madness. It's absolutely madness. But hey, Pappy Bucket, I gotta give credit to you, my friend. But there was no chance you were going through regardless. Then we had Amanda's second golden buzzer, Max Fox, who in the audition actually was the one who was in the audience and he actually requested to audition, and then he went backstage, rehearsed, and then he performed "My Way" by Frank Sinatra. You know, originally written by Paul Anka, and this time around he did he sung the song again, but he did it in his own version, which I thought was pretty interesting. Bruno mentioned that he fought so hard to get here, and the moment he did it his own way, and he did it well. Alicia mentioned that his story and journey was fascinating and was suspicious about the journey because, and Simon even mentioned that he was like the people's champions and also mentioned if he had the golden buzzer, he would have pressed it for him. I will say this now, there is no doubt he is a great singer and his audition was absolutely brilliant, especially the way he did the Frank Sinatra song in the auditions. I thought he really, really impressed me. This performance, I feel like when he mentioned he was going to do the same song again, I was kind of like, oh, okay, where's this going to go? Because I was kind of unsure how this would go, because I think him doing the same song again was a bit of a mistake. Because I mean, the version he did was pretty good, but at the same time, it felt a bit bland. Like I didn't feel the initial goosebumps I felt at the audition when he, because with his audition, he really blew my expectations. I was like, okay, if he's auditioning, he needs to be very good, and he was very good in the auditions. But this really kind of felt like just, it was a bit bland in my opinion, but it was still very good. And I mean, the audience absolutely loved him, which honestly, I'm not surprised the audience were loving him because he's got a great voice, and he definitely felt like a bit of a dark horse, I guess, in the competition, especially going to the week. But he still did very good though, and I gotta give credit for him. But I do feel like the second time round with him doing the song wasn't the best option in my opinion. But of course, that's just my opinion, and just let me know what you think. But I still thought this was a very good performance regardless. And then we had TK, his full name Tosin, who is the football coach, I believe. He's the football manager. And his audition, basically, he did the routine with the Wi-Fi on his phone, changing the Wi-Fi in the whole theatre to Charming, which was Simon's words he chose. And that was a really good trick as well. So his semi-final performance he had Amanda give him a number between 1 to 10, and she chose the number 6 before revealing a list of celebrities in an envelope who he anticipated Amanda to have in her phone contacts, with number 6 being Davina McCall, who we all know Davina from the Masked Singer, Long Lost Families. She was on Big Brother as well. We all know who she is. Before he opened the envelope to unveil a picture of Davina when she was only 6 months old, and then he then basically asked Amanda to press the fast forward button, and he basically transformed into a picture of Davina now, which I thought was very clever. Then he instructed him call Davina on FaceTime, and then he then had Davina to select a deck of cards between red and blue, and she chose the blue deck before asking Davina to tell him to stop on any card, which was the 6 of diamonds, before he revealed that the red deck had chosen upside down was a suit of number upon it, and then the rest were blank. And then it ended with basically having a photo with a bunch of putting basically a picture in the audience with Davina and the photo with Davina on the 6 of diamonds, which was a very, very good trick as well. I thought this was a great routine. Alicia mentioned that they've never had a magician do that before, and where they brought someone else into it so spontaneously, and she mentioned it paid off. And Simon said he could have played it safe, but he didn't, and he paid off. And I completely agree with what the judges were saying here, because I thought the whole routine was fantastic. But I will say, I think at the beginning, like this is just the way I was thinking about it, because I felt like in the beginning I could definitely tell he was quite nervous at the start of the performance, but I think once he got in the groove, his confidence really grew quite a lot, much more as the routine progressed, and I thought he was excellent. And also he just seems across as a very decent person. So yeah, I thought while I feel like was lacking his confidence a little bit on in the beginning, I still thought he picked it up in the middle and still delivered a brilliant performance. I really did enjoy this routine, and I love seeing magicians like him on the show, especially especially with last week doing the phone trick with the Wi-Fi, and now with him doing some with Davina McCall, and then it was absolutely brilliant. I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and definitely a strong performance to do in the semi-finals. I thought he was fantastic. And then we had Bruno's golden buzzer, Maya Jote, if that's me pronouncing. I apologize if I pronounced your surname wrong. I do apologize. The 14-year-old singer from Romania who blew me away with her rendition of "Listen" by Beyonce, and Bruno literally pressed the golden buzzer as soon as she finished. Which I didn't blame for him doing it, because her voice, her audition was absolutely astounding. Her voice is astounding, and I was so excited to see what she was going to do. So she performed a rendition of Oscar-winning "Tears" by Ray, which I know who Ray is, but I didn't know the song. I wasn't necessarily known. I didn't recognize the song at first, and then Alicia mentioned it was a Ray song. I was like, oh, okay, it's because I've heard Ray's music before. She's a very talented singer, and she mentioned there was so much wisdom in your vocals, which is crazy because she's only 14. And Amanda mentioned that she nailed the song, and it's a very difficult song to sing, and I don't. And she was also with some backup dancers, I thought was really cool. And all I can say is this, and I don't know if anyone else is thinking this, but how on earth did she not make the top 3 on this performance? Because I thought she was just, taking away her age, the fact she's 14, just taking it out of the image, her voice is absolutely astounding. But the fact that she's 14 years old makes it even better. So it's honestly absolutely crazy that she did not make the top three, because I thought she was just amazing. She was absolutely fantastic. Her voice is amazing. Now I don't know if the song, maybe if she picked the wrong song choice. I don't know. I actually don't know the song. But it was definitely an interesting, especially with her doing the ballad, the Beyonce song. I was kind of hoping she would do maybe another ballad, but I still thought she was absolutely remarkable regardless. And I mean, especially with her switching the different song genres, which I think, I mean, honestly, I can go on forever. I feel like she was massively robbed. She was completely robbed, and there's no two other ways around it. Because I hope we see her maybe on another singing competition in a few years' time, because her voice is just, well, absolutely knockout. So I can just go on forever saying how much I'm pretty shocked that she went home, and just, yeah, we'll leave her there before we get onto a rampage. Next up, we had Alicia's Golden Buzzer, which was for Joseph Charm, the stand-up comedian, who I'm honestly so happy who got it, and he was the one I wanted to do well, and he did great. So in the audition, he basically did a routine about about parenthood, about seeking respite from children, taking them to nursery, becoming a father. So basically, the semi-finals, he basically did his entrance to Bills by Lunch Money Lewis, and then he made some remarks about his family, resigning from his job, and then basically having people mistake him for Idris Elba, Alicia's outfit choice cousins from overseas, trying to claim money off of him, and also living off the cost of living crisis. Also questioning where he and his family would go on holiday if, and his mother's crush, which is Simon Cowell, basically causing his father to attempt to humiliate him, basically. And it was a really funny set as well. Alicia mentioned that he loved him from when they first met, and he was praying to do well, and he did that. And basically, the reaction he got was amazing, and you can tell he was the audience absolutely loved him, and I also loved him as well, which I'm so happy with. And she pressed the golden buzzer for him, meaning he's straight through to the final, and his mum was there, who did it alongside with him, which was such a beautiful moment for me. And just seeing him, I just honestly, he was the comedian this year I wanted to see do well in the competition, especially with there being, at the time, being no comedians in the final. You know, the closest we had was Will Burns a few weeks ago, but the fact he made it through, he got the golden buzzer, I could not be more happy about. I will say, I have some people online that was saying that he wasn't as funny as his audition, and he's saying he didn't deserve the golden buzzer. Now, of course, I will stand by this and say, you know, comedy is completely subjective. You don't have to like it. If you don't like it, then that's just your personal preference. But personally, I thought he was really funny. I thought he was very, very funny. I really enjoyed the set. I thought it was a deserved golden buzzer. I might be biased here, but I was really hoping for him to get it, and I'm very happy he did as well. And just honestly, you can see how much it meant to him as well. You know, he was emotional as well when he got the golden buzzer. Just absolutely wonderful stuff. And seeing his mum there as well was just absolutely wonderful. I'm just so happy he got the golden buzzer. I'm so excited he's in the final. As I mentioned, I wanted him to be in the final. You know, going based on my first impression, I was like, he could be a potential golden buzzer, and I was not expecting to be correct as well. But I'm so happy he did make it through. I'm just honestly could not be more happy for him. So a deserved golden buzzer in my opinion, and I'm so happy that he's in the final. Then we had Obsequious, the Filipino dance group, who I absolutely loved in the auditions. Basically, they did the dance routine to basically they did it to Sweet Child of Mine and You Give Love a Bad Name, Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses, and then they were basically the guys who at the beginning did the big flip of the flag, and basically. And I mentioned in my first review for the series that I thought they had set the bar really high for the dance groups, as I absolutely loved their audition. I thought they were fantastic, and this was another brilliant semi-final performance. And they basically did their dance routine to Back in Black by AC/DC, I Want to Break Free by Queen, and It's My Life by Bon Jovi. All rock bands I absolutely love, and these guys once again blew me away. Amanda mentioned that the act was insane, was brilliant, and the choreography, the outfits, the passion was spilling out of it. And Simon mentioned it's acts like them that makes the show great, which I totally agree with. And you can see how much it must mean to them being here. And I absolutely loved these guys. I thought they were absolutely fantastic. Once again, they stepped it up again from the audition stages, and just I thought they were absolutely fantastic once again. Just I honestly, I was actually quite shocked they didn't get to the top three, if I'm honest here, as well, or at least the top four. Actually, yeah, the top three. I was definitely shocked they didn't get to the top three because I thought they were absolutely fantastic. I didn't have them going through, but I still thought they were absolutely superb regardless. Just a great dance group, and I just thought they were absolutely just superb at what they were doing, and I could not be happy. I'm just shocked they didn't get to at least the top three, because I thought they were really good, and I actually would have loved to have seen them in the final as well. But hey ho, it's one of those things, and I hope that they have a big career afterwards. I honestly thought they were indeed really, really good. So while they didn't go through to the final or the top three, I'm happy they made the semi-finals. So I still thought they were absolutely fantastic, and I couldn't be more happy if they made the semi-finals. And now we have the final act of the night to talk about, which was Hear Our Voice, who were basically the group of people who were involved the post office scandal. And I did mention this in my video, but all the way back in late March, I think it was the second episode. Basically, it was basically a group of people that were consisted of the sub postmasters directed on by the Horizon post office scandal, and basically many people lost quite a lot of stuff. It was a horrible situation that those people had to go through, and in their audition they did "Falling Down" by Will and the People. Again, I didn't hear the song before, but it was definitely one of the most emotional performances of the year, especially for the audition stages. I thought it was extremely moving. And then the semi-final, they did a rendition of "People Help the People" by Birdie, which I mean it's so healing. Not healing, it's so fitting for that song as well. And it was just wonderful to listen to. Alicia mentioned that the music is so healing, and coming together in unity is so healing. And Amanda mentioned if Keir Starmer ever wants to do actually do something good as a prime minister, do it now, because Keir Starmer is, of course, the Labour Party, and let's just say it's, I won't go. I'm not into politics, by the way, so I won't go into it. But I completely agree what the judges said, as the justice, like the amount of stuff. I mean, how they were treated was absolutely horrific. The story is so moving. The performance was so moving as well, and there's actually a ITV drama series, which I don't know if I mentioned this in the audition, which is Mr. Bates from the Post Office, which is basically around the post office scandal that happened. So yeah, that's that, and just it was an extremely moving performance, and just even some of the members were even getting quite emotional during the performance, and it just shows how much it must mean to them right now, and how much the public, you can tell, like, by the end of the performance there was no way they weren't going through, and I couldn't see anyone else but them making it through from the public vote, and it was just so moving. It was just, once again, such a moving performance, and it basically just touched our hearts once again, basically. And then we had the top three, based on the results, and then we had the top three, which were TK, Max, and Hear Our Voice. And I mentioned this a bit earlier on, but I was shocked Maya didn't make the top three, as I thought she was absolutely amazing. And I'm so curious, I was a little bit shocked as well. They didn't get to at least the top three. But regardless, the actor got third place and was going home, which was TK Magic, which, to be honest, I was kind of expecting at the top when the top three was announced, because I thought he was very good, but I think he was quite nervous, so that kind of, for me, kind of was like, okay, maybe not be the best choice for the final. And then it came down between Max and Hear Our Voice, and even not even going in watching the result. I was watching this live, by the way, so but in my head I was like, there's no way Hear Our Voice aren't going through. And in the end, they did make it through to the final, and I completely agree it was the correct choice, especially, and it just shows the public are completely behind them, and rightfully so, as those people, what those people had to go through was absolutely just shocking, absolutely shocking. But Max, honestly, I will admit, I was a bit surprised Max made the top three, but at the same time, I wasn't, because um, the audience absolutely loved him. Like, I mean, the whole episode, I think that there's almost every single act was challenged for the golden buzzer. It was Maya's, no, it was Max, then it was TK, then it was Maya, then it was Joseph, and those four, you know, what I mean, but also the acts that didn't go through were still really good and definitely could have made it through maybe any other week or any other series, if I'm honest with you guys. So honestly, for me the results were absolutely bang on, and I'm not even being biased when I say this, but I'm genuinely am really happy with who went through, of Joseph and Hear Our Voice. They were the correct choices, and I can't wait to see them in the final, as I think it's going to be. I think they're going to be great in the final as well. I just cannot wait to see them, what they do next. So there you are. That is the semi final number 4 for BGT Series 18. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who you thought, basically, did you agree with the results? Did you disagree with the results? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And there's only 2 more spots left in the final, which is tomorrow, which is on Saturday, the 24th of May, and I cannot wait for that to happen. Just, it's already shaping up to be a really solid final already, especially now we have, you know, acts like Hear Our Voice. We've got Joseph now there. And of course, you've got Stacey. You know, we've got some of the bookie favourites of being Ping Pong Pan, Blackouts, Vinny, and Stacey, and kind of the dark horse, the underdogs, I'd say, being Ollie and Jasmine. So I know who I want to see in the final for the next 2 spots plus the wild card. I'm hoping those acts in my head are make it through, because that could really make the final one to remember, and I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed for that to happen. But anyways, that's it for this recap of BGT Series 18. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below of the episode. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe with post notifications on. I would really appreciate that. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.